flame is lit, truth will gather.
Alafia from number 11 of Rooster Stone. Happy All Serpents Day. How y'all feeling tonight? You there, young elder?
Yeah, Tomo, I feel good.
Oh yeah,
Ooh,
yeah. Peace.
Yo, real quick, V Indigenous is back on. This is her second time on the show, and I almost forgot that she speaks indigenous tongues and everything else. So, can you say that again for us, goddess?
I just said Shea Tomo Yati. It's greetings, peace and love, family.
I say, Big Chief's in the building.
Let me get my pen and pad.
How you feeling, elder?
Oh yeah, man. We just I'll just take notes, man. I'm just a regular guy that take notes, you know.
Man, we all learning from the cradle to the grave, man. Tonight, I named it All Serpents Day because today is All Serpents Day. I'm not sure if y'all are familiar with that or not, but they call it St. Patrick's Day, but in all reality, it's All Serpents Day. All around, from Dambala to the Rainbow Serpent to Mama Wata, etc., etc. And tonight I wanted to tap into that a little bit, as well as a continuation of what we did last time with our antiquities and artifacts. How you feeling about that, elder?
Oh yeah, man. Wherever you want to go, man. We could go all over the place. We could go where no man has gone, or woman been gone before, man. You know. Let's take it. Let's go. Let's do it.
I say. Well, you know, the gentleman and me, we got a lot of ladies go first, and the goddess, you know what I'm saying, we respect her time. Be indigenous. Tell us about yourself, where you're from, and what's your mission for the night. You hear me, goddess?
So, yeah, you just asked me to tell them about myself. So, I am the indigenous. I have an organization called FindYourTribe.org, the Urban American Indian Collective, and basically what we do is we help Black Americans trace their indigenous ancestry to different tribes. I am an enrolled member of the Yamasee Nation. Also a part of several different clans within my nation. So we help Black Americans reconnect, and not just Black Americans. I say America. When I say America, I'm talking about the entire continent. So north to south and the connecting islands. Reconnect back with their roots and wherever those roots may take them. So we advocate for indigenous American roots, but some people's roots take them back all over the world. So I specialize in doing genealogy. I've been doing that for about 15 years. Specifically, we'd helped over 3,000 Americans reconnect and repatriate back into their tribe. So we do a little bit of everything from land patents, ancestral estates, all things through and through. So I was nominated as one of the most influential people of African descent by the United Nations in 2015. So I've been doing a lot of work in this field for a long time.
I say, and we might have a little delay, because we all spread out around, like the guy that said, we all spread out around the nation. But I love what you said.
Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. It's a little delayed, but we gonna make it work. So, what I was saying, no, I just love the fact what you said, that findyourtribe.org. That's a beautiful thing, man. And y'all making it easy.
Yes.
Years ago, we had to do this the hard way. We had to figure it out. Now you got people like a young elder putting out archives, you know what I'm saying, digging in the crates. We got yourself doing a lot of work for people. You're making it easy for people to find themselves. And that's a beautiful, important thing. Tonight is Chief Talk. We named it All Serpents Day. So yeah, man, we're going to dig into that a little bit more because I really wanted to support what you got going on as well. Elder, wait, just for shits and giggles, where you from and how you doing, guys?
I'm from Turtle Island, man. You know what I'm saying?
Hey man, I love it when the tribe says they patient with us. They be patient with us. You know what I'm saying? Until everything, you know what I'm saying, get right. So, you know what I'm saying, take a lot of the extra stress off us. But yeah, man, tonight, young elder, I wanted to show you a couple of things because like this guy was talking about finding your tribe and everything. And then my job is to go out and find antiquities or artifacts that represent our tribes. So I know last week we talked about Chief Sensorira, and this we were going to talk about some Cigar Chief Indians. Are you gotta be indigenous? Are you familiar with Cigar Chief Indians? Miss Indigenous? She might be froze up. You see these young elder?
Yeah.
So I brought some out today because these are something that we need to tap into right here. These Cigar Chief Indians, right?
Yeah,
and the funny thing about this one is I show Rod Hayes this. He said, "Yo, that's Chief Pontiac." Let me see. So you get a close up.
Yeah, it look like them.
And then the female guys. Now these are real important too. All these wooden statues, the black ones, the darker the Indian, the more expensive. If you ain't know that.
What's that in the? That's a crystal.
Which one? This one? This one? I think you're frozen a little bit, Goddess. But I think this is the only one that had a crystal on. This one right here? Oh, it's turquoise.
Yes.
So anytime I get any of our artifacts,
crystal on the statue.
Yeah, turquoise. It's turquoise.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Oh, thank you. Anytime I find these little wooden artifacts or antiquities, I always put the stones back because that's the first thing they came and took when they came over here. So I'm real big on jades and turquoise and things of that nature. And like I said, these wooden statues were created by other people as representation of the people that's on the land. So that's helping us identify ourselves as well. Those were our baby totems. You know what I'm saying? This was telling you, hey man, you can go get some good smoke from them Indians from over there. You know what I'm saying? So when you look up the Cigar Chief Indians, that's a whole lot of history within itself. Like I say, this one was we did Chief Sensorira last week, and this one is Pontiac. So yeah, man, young elder, did you see any antiquities down there?
Say it again.
Did you find any antiquities down there since the last time we talked?
Oh no, hey, look, man, I'm doing so much stuff, man, for the tribe right now in the background. See, I just don't want nobody to give me no credit, man. I need cash. I don't need no credit.
I got you. Goddess, what's the name of your website again? Miss Indigenous? It's findyourtribe.org, guy.
.org. Findyourtribe.org.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Hey, I heard the sister say she was an African. She said she was an African. Can you hear me?
She's a little delayed because she's in Miami and the weather's a little bad right here. So
no, I was nominated. I was nominated by the UN
to be an African. You see?
So yeah, the UN nominated me. The UN has been doing a decade for kind of like recognition for indigenous people, and so what they recognize is people worldwide of what they call African descent.
Oh, they gonna say they trying to say we Africans? I ain't got no problem. Yeah, look, that's all good though.
Hey man, hey, once she loads up,
right. African some of us do got African in us because of several reasons, and one reason is because of Mansa Musa.
Mm.
And it's more, they only tell you about Mansa Musa, but it's other Africans that sailed over here for thousands of years back and forth before Mansa Musa. Even even the people they say that sailed with Columbus were African dudes. The dude the Nino brothers. They said that they owned the ships. These guys owned them ships, and they had been already coming over here for Columbus. So they can save. If you say you're African and you in America, it's a high percentage, and it's almost guaranteed you didn't come over here as no slave or none of it. So I hear these guys out still promoting the slave thing, right? Because the Gullah Geechees is already over here for Columbus. The Mandingos, go study the Mandingos. Who are the Mandingos? The Mandingos are the Kentes. The Kentes. You know who the Kentes are? They made a movie about Roots, and they lied and said that they captured this Kente prince from Africa. That's a damn straight mother. That's a straight up on my big mama lie. Them people came over here already. Abu Bakr and them were the Kentes. Abu Bakr and Mansa Musa and them, they dad were the Kentes. They were a mixture of the Dogon people and the Dinkas, and it was another tribe called we essentially think that some people sailed from over here called the tribe of Shabazz and mixed in with the West Coast Africans and created a whole nother tribe called the Mandingas. But there was already a two-part mix called with the Dogons and the Dinkas from from Sudan. So these people are the Kentes. They're coming from the Dogons. And then they essentially, cause we get more on the storyline, but in the 1300s, they sailed over here, Abu Bakr, and then they brought 3,000 ships full of men and women. 3,000 ships. How many people that is? That's a lot of people. 3,000 ships. And then them people came over here, and the storyline goes that these Yamasee and Washita people that was over here in Georgia and the Creek and all these people mixed in with these Mandingos. This was way before Columbus. This is way so. I don't got no problem because people got a problem with people saying they got
those
African
are my
ancestors.
ancestors, the people that were mixed in with the when they came over here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So most of the people over here, they got African descent. People. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Most, and you Native American too, because of like I said, they came over and mixed in, and so you can have that African descent, but based on this the thing, this the killer, man. Based on the time frame of all this, the word Africa didn't even exist at the time. Based on the time frame, so you couldn't have been African. But we understand when you say African, what you're talking about, because we have reason to believe, and I said like it's a belief, but I'm almost for sure we have reason to know that that the Berlin Conference is when they called it Africa, after the Berlin Conference, and then they started taking land masses that was over here like Ethiopia. Ethiopia
when they
Florida
decided to divide the continent up, right?
Yeah, Berlin Conference. You remember that, right? So the republic, the Florida Republic, is also the Ethiopian Superior. Meaning, when they say superior, meaning that it was over here first. It's the first superior. It's also like Cleopatra and people like that. They was over here on this side of the field. So when people start talking about Africa, and then you start talking about people like Cleopatra and King Tut and all these people, you thinking about that landmass over there, but you really talking about this landmass over here. These people was over here. They found. Go look this up. They found, and the Smithsonian Institute paid millions of dollars to keep all of this stuff from, and they debunk it and all this stuff, right? Well, how they found Alexander the Great tomb in Illinois. Right. So if Alexander the Great was in Greece or whatever they saying, then that must have been already over here. We already broke down in the Bible about how they talking about corn. Corn is origin to America.
Not only that, Cahokia Mound in St. Louis.
See, dang.
They coulda.
Yeah.
Hey, you didn't say it again. You
So the
cut out
Birdman
where
in
you say
St. Louis,
Cahokia
if you
Mound.
ever visit Cahokia Mound, that
Go
is
ahead.
Haru.
Go ahead.
Cahokia Mound in St. Louis, which was like the epicenter of the Mississippian culture, or the peak of the culture met at. There is, and you can go see him. And if you go there and see him, he's brown skinned, just like you fellas are. He's laying in his tomb, but that's really, now they're starting to connect that to Haru, and now he's the bird. Call him here, but really, he's a representation of Haru, or the original Haru from this side.
That's right, because we from this land. That he from this land. This Inanna, his mama's land. Mary, the land of Mary, Inanna. Yeah. So this is his motherland, and then Ohio really is the city of Aura, of Chaldea, and that's where Abraham is from. A lot of people don't want to go to, they like to discredit the Bible storyline, but a lot of those storylines are stolen from our ancient tablet, like the Gib Mixilish, the ancient Egyptian Book of the Dead. All these books that all these tablets that we already had, they copied stories and then regurgitated them and made everybody white. So so people want to get rid of it. But truth of the matter is, Abraham was over here. Abraham was in Ohio. Abraham had two sons. Those two sons would be more. Both of them would be Moors. Actually, he had three sons. I mean, well, actually, he had more than. He actually had 8 sons total, but he had 3 wives. But those children would be Moors. Then you got Missouri is really Mizraim. Mizraim is the tribe of Cush, the Cushites, the Ethiopians. And then we saying that Ethiopia's superior was over here. Who are the Ethiopians? Yep. The Ethiopians are descendants, spinoff. The ones you see over in Ethiopia now, they mix with red Arabs. But the ones over the original ones, which they don't show you, are the Afar people, the Magi people. That they don't show you them people. The ones with the thick, they got a certain type of hairstyle, like the ancient Egyptians. Those people. They was over here. See, look, what we finding out is that the origin is over here. That the Twi was over here. That the Sands man from that they say they was over here. Go pull up the original people in South America, then put them next to the Sands man. You kind of looking at the same people, and then pull up like I was telling them last week. Pull up Tory Lane. Tory Lane is a Dogon. They call them the Baja people over here in California. But they got replaced with the Sabines or the Siberians, and then they renamed the tribe Hopi. But the original is the Baja people. They are the original Dogon. They're the mirror tribe to the Dogon on this side. How do you know? Because pull up the dolls, the Kachina doll, and all and cross-reference the Dogon African dolls with the with the Hopi dolls. Cross-reference they building structures. Cross-reference they dressing styles and their ceremonies. You'll see that it's all the same culture. And the devil, all he did is come to hide the truth about the ancient Egyptians, which is one part of the Dogons, being over in California in the Grand Canyon in Arizona. But they reclassified them as black, Negro, and coloreds, and they walking around as music guys calling themselves Tory Lanes and this and that. And they the real original Dogons of this land. Tell you, man. And then I'm telling you, it's a game. They try to say it's a dude named Dr. Winters. He put a whole research out on how Africans and Native Americans have been already.
Winters. I'm very familiar with Dr. Winters. Good work.
Right. I got a whole series. I got a whole series tape out on them where it breaks down how the anthropologists proved the connection between both tribes. Because I'm redoing this, but I had already did a long ass tape where I had videos all the evidence proving that the Bantu people and the Olmec people really are the same exact people. The Bantu people, the one that got the little curly hair, when you see Buddha, all of them, they were Bantu. And how?
Oh,
Yeah, yeah, and how they get the slanted eyes? How the Bantu people get
Orisha,
the
I meant
slanted
to
eyes? Go ahead. Say what you can say. Go ahead. Let me give you some water while she finishes up.
Yes.
I meant to tell you that there's an Olmec head here in Florida now that showed up out of nowhere. And so they were saying that it's a prank, but I want to see it. It's right here, north of Miami. In Hollywood, Florida. It's an original Olmec head that just showed up on the side of the road. I went and took pictures of it. I'll send you picture, like a video of it of myself. And I'm asking, like, how did they get this like 30-ton stone head? What do you mean it showed up out of nowhere? But like, we're in a different timeline than we were, let's say, 2 years ago, 3 years ago. And it's like the timeline is changing in real time now. So a lot of those are being revealed in real time. So like if you have any of your followers or listeners that live in South Florida, it's right off of Highway 1. It literally sits across the street from the Dunkin' Donuts. And it's so jarring, like you're driving down the street and you're like, is that an Olmec head on the side of the road in Florida? And so I stopped and I asked, I went to, it's like in a hotel parking lot or something. I asked and they said, no, it just showed up out of nowhere. And they were thinking it was a prank. It's an authentic Olmec head here now.
God is. When I tell you, we just went to the mounds today.
So when you mentioned the small people, every indigenous tribe here in the Americas has a story of a small people here, of us connecting with small people and smaller people being here before.
Yeah. I say
what happened?
Yo, Elder, we just went to the mounds today. We just did a ritual today because they call it St. Patrick's Day, right? And they talk about what is St. Patrick's Day. On the 17th, they say St. Patrick's Day, and they talk about the leprechauns and everything else. Who are they talking about? Now they really talk about All Serpents Day. Like you said, they have a lot of different names from the Twa and everything else, but these are the serpent tribes. But she said about the Olmec head, it was funny because they had the Olmec head in Chicago, right? And as soon as we started like paying attention to it, that disappeared. The one in Chicago, now they can't find it. So I don't know what these people got going on, but the one thing about Florida is we got mounds and pyramids down here just as old as the Olmec Teotihuacan. I might be saying it wrong.
People.
The same, you know what I'm saying? People. I just dropped the video. I climbed the top of the pyramid today. All Serpents Day. You know what I'm saying? Be indigenous. You still with us? I know we're on a little delay. I wanted to ask you, what is your relationship with the serpent?
Oh, wow.
You heard me, Miss Indigenous? So while we wait for her to load back up, you heard what I said though, Young?
Yeah. I heard you say it. Like, what I think about it.
Yeah.
When you say we the serpent people, it's a deep meaning behind that because of a group of extraterrestrials. Where it goes back really farther than that because the serpents origin from this planet, like one group of them, they origin from Earth, right? So this is a water planet. This is, but they really the original group, one group is called a nomos, right? So this whole planet, this Earth is like an aquarium. It's a water planet. It's a serpent planet. Now the serpent part come in with us over here in Turtle Island is because, and keep in mind, turtle is in that same family with the reptiles and all them, right? And a turtle bad motherfucker, especially a snapping turtle, right? Snapping turtle, snapping turtle get a hold of your ass and hold your ass for 2,000 years, man. Snapping turtle lock on. You had to chop his head off just to stop him, yeah. Lock on your ass for 2,000 years, the real snapper turtle. Yeah, man. But check this out though. So it was this group of beings they origin from here, but they end up going to Cyrus B. And then when Cyrus B burnt out, they went to Nirvana, and they evoluted. On their planet, they were called the Nagas, the Naga species of reptilians, and they evoluted into different types. But for the main part, the one that we're dealing with is the Naga cobra species, which is why all the ancient Egyptians, or at least the pharaoh hybrid demigod bloodline, had these cobras on their headdress, right? They come from the Naga species, who were Hindus. Keep this in mind. They were Hindus that, and on their planet, they lived in mounds. They lived in Massabat mounds, and they would stack them on top of each other before Earth, before they was building them, before people was building them on Earth. If you go pull up the UFOs that they say that these people came in, that the Hindus in the Hindu ancient culture, they say that these beings, these came from Nirvana, and they show you the ships they came in. They call Ramanas, and they look like stepstone. Yeah, they look like stepstone pyramids.
Yep,
right?
They are flying mounds, almost like, yep, just like the ones in Mexico. Those platforms in Mexico are just landing platforms for those ships. So if you stack a Vamana on top of a mound, they connect, and it's like you could tell that's where the Vamanas took off from.
That's right. And you can tell also the design with the stepstone pyramid and the design of their ships. Right? They pyramids, they ships are designed like the stepstone pyramids. Yep. And like these Nirvana, like Lego blocks. Yeah, like wedding cakes.
That's what I'm saying.
Like wedding cakes.
They not just in Mexico. I'm telling you, they all through.
They all over. They all over. They in India, China. Yeah, they in Imhotep. The pyramid. You already know about the pyramid of Imhotep. The ones in China, like they all over because these
I don't
beings.
care about nobody else. I'm talking about right. I'm saying I don't mean to cut your wisdom, but I don't care about nobody else. I'm talking about right here to where each one of us can go to our mounds. You in Louisiana, mounds in Louisiana, the pyramid of St. Pierre, St. Paris. I went to the mound today. I saw over, I think, 23 mounds today, right here in Turkey Scratch. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? She's in South Florida, and she just said, like, don't let that go over your head. She just said, out of nowhere, there's an Olmec head. A lot of things are being revealed, a lot of things are being hidden, a lot of things they got to, what I'm saying? They might say it's a replica and everything else. Where did they make it from? And how they make it exact same?
I went and put hands on it myself to make sure it wasn't a replica. Because I just came back from Mexico a couple months ago doing the same work there. And I had to go put hands on it. It is not a replica. It is a 100% authentic Olmec head.
Hey, look, they got over 20,000 mounds in America. So I ain't arguing. I ain't got like 20,000 mounds. You know what I'm saying? So like I ain't gotta. We already know we the king. We the mound builders over here in America. The Moors. We the mound builders. I ain't trying to argue that point. I'm saying that I'm giving you the origin of the reptilian part. Especially when it connects to us. Now I can go back all the way to the beginning galactically on when the reptilians got created by Mother Hubbard, who was Anu's sister, through genetical slicing them. Yeah.
Let me say this. So to touch on it being St. Patrick's Day today, we know the Irish are celebrating them defeating the Moors. That's what St. Patrick's Day go back to them. But even further back in that story, it's not necessarily the Moors. They call them Formorians in their mythology. And they're talking about defeating a race of giants and a race of serpent people. Okay, so to tie into what you were saying, and even in their own mythology, they say the settlers of Ireland, so they even call themselves settlers, were defeating the indigenous people there, who they claim descend from a race of giants and snake people. And if you can look up the mythology, they have these gruesome looking images of them, but really it's just indigenous people. It's the same history, the same mound builders, it's that same genealogy of the original people of the planet.
Yeah, the Black Celts is the people that was over there, and that's the Twa. The Twa man. Twa is
everywhere has those small people. They go everywhere you go, you're gonna find small people, you're gonna find snake people, and you're gonna find giants.
I see.
Yeah. And the snake people were these Hindus, these
The
beings with the
Nagas. Yep.
straight, yeah, the Naga people who came down looking like humans. They were serpent looking, but when they left here, if you go get the upright serpent walking Naga beings, they were human. But when they evolved over time, we got more reptilian in us than a lot of stuff. Like if you want to get down to it, reptilian brain. When a man ejaculates into a woman, it's a tadpole. It swims up
Yep.
and then get into an egg, and then the egg hatch the water. It lives in water for 9 months. We're talking about reptilians here. All right, but let me go back to telling you this. We talking about these Naga beings who came and they were benevolent beings. It was one group that was benevolent, but they came to fight against another group that came before them that were disagreeable. But what they are the group that came down and started influencing on us on building these mounds. The Almacs weren't building mounds. People don't want to know this, but the Almacs weren't building mounds. These people came with this ideology, and they started. Enlil got mad because they were teaching the people. Because it's in the book of Enoch, right, where they said that these 200 fallen, they called it Igigis, but they became the Nephilims. They landed in California. Really, they tell you some Babylon, but it really was on Mount Hermon in California, and they came down and set up the city of Los Angeles, the Los Angeles. And they began teaching the humans that was over here, which was the Almacs, the Bantu people, and the Dogon people was over here. And it was like two more other groups, the Twi and the Sandsman. And but these one group was they were part of this one group that was part of these Agigis were Hindus. And there was several other species too that was part of them. But they taught them how to build, start making brick and stone, and start building these mountains. And Enlil got mad. And look, when they had taught them after so long of them teaching them, they built a tower. That's what they talk about Nimrod. These towers were really the mounds that stacked on top of each other. Because when they started filling the master box at first, then Nimrod came, who really is dealing with Murdoch and Inky. They started stacking and Tahuti. They started stacking the mounds on top of each other, and then they start stacking them so high to where Enlil got mad and said it's really a storyline about it's three different storylines to that, but that they're talking about them building these pyramids, and that's what they're talking about with Nimrod. This tower. The tower was, you got to think about it. We got a 40-acre pyramid over here in America, man. You know how much an acre is? Just think about how much an acre is. And then I'm telling you 40 acres. Man, yeah, that's crazy. 40 acres. That's humongous. 40 acres worth of pyramid. You got to be, man. But that's another thing. But not to get too sidetracked. I know a lot of people don't want to deal with the Bible, so I don't really talk much on it. But I can show you everything where everything tie in. But yeah, so they started making the mounds. Now it was another group that came from Tazeti that the Hopi talk about. The Hopi talk about these people, the ant people. You can go pull it up. Okay, they think Young Ella. Nah, man, the Dogon already talk about these people. They made masks representing these ant people who were part of the Gigis. And they said these people came and taught us how to dig underground. Now you got the mounds, the Naga influence, and they mixed in with our culture. It's why we get to start put certain demigods or these mixed who was really part extraterrestrial and humans, putting these Naga things because they kin to them people. That them people mixed in with us. That's what made us who we are. Different from everybody else by that one species mix. Now these ant people, they taught us how to dig underground, so we started digging underground tunnels and underground cities. Because you know about ants. If you study ants, that's why I keep on telling people, if you want to learn about the extraterrestrials in your nature, most of all of them live on Earth. Earth is one of the only planets that got this many species on one planet. But so if you study the ants, they dig underground. And so they showed us how to dig these underground cities. That's why there's so many underground cities in America. It's over 300-400 underground cities. Some of them larger than New York underground, and they already built up.
Much underground as there is on top of it in America.
I know I couldn't ask nobody else this, so I got to ask you this, and I don't want to sound too crazy. I know a lot of people be talking about that whole the Earth is flat thing, and that's the whole trick is a flat is around. But I'm big on saying it's the Earth hollow, and they trying to trick us out of word about the Earth and the inner Earth and what do they call it, Shambhala, which is also a Naga territory.
The Earth is hollow.
Yeah, so you know what I'm saying? That breaks.
Go pull up I'm a Bird. Go pull up Operation Deep Freeze. Go pull up Admiral Byrd, the dude that flew his plane into the center of the hole and they had him killed.
Into the inner Earth.
Yeah, go pull up the Operation Deep Freeze. I already got tapes on all of this. If you like, I got tape, like I got whole tapes breaking it down. Like I got AI tapes breaking it down and me breaking it down. So like, but it's Admiral Byrd. You got Operation Deep Freeze. That's when they got their ass kicked by Hitler after Operation High Jump. So they went down there on Operation High Jump, tried to get with Hitler and them. Hitler and them pull out the UFOs they got from Ashtar, where they re-engineered certain technology that Ashtar Command and the Outer Barents gave them, and made UFOs with tank missiles, tank guns on them. And so when Admiral Byrd and them went down there on Operation High Jump, they got their ass kicked. They was trying to get into the center of the Earth because it's more than one entrance, but the main two entrances for huge UFOs is the top and the north, south and the bottom. And then you got entrance in these places like the pyramids down in Mexico, pyramids and mounds all around America. It's got secret entrances that go down all the way to the like I said about these cities that these guys taught us how to dig, right? These Tarsidi and Ant people, we got tunnels. They taught us how to dig tunnels straight to the center of the Earth, straight to us a whole nother city, mirror world in the center of your Earth called Shambhala. And it's beings that live there that's thought to be extinct, like the certain dinosaurs and it's certain humans that made it down there, like Abu Bakr II, Mansa Musa's brother, who came down there, then came back up and then went back down there, allegedly stayed down there. And Mansa Musa was looking for him and couldn't find him. When he came back over, he was looking for him, right? And then he essentially he came back up as Old Man York and he's being York's father. That's what people were saying, that Old Man York was being York's father. But also go look up Amelia Earhart, who flew her plane. She used to try to fly. She's the first, essentially Caucasian woman to try to fly her plane all around the world, but she ended up flying into the Bermuda Triangle. Yeah, and get the Devil's Triangle, another name for it, and it sucked her into a vortex, and she been missing ever since. And then it's another dude that pops up right about years later that was working for the military, who really was a fugaloid from the center of the Earth, named Billy Woodricks. And he comes out talking about saying that when he was a kid from the center of the Earth, and that he saw Amelia Earhart down there, and that these people, they don't age. They age because one day down there is likened unto 1,000 years. See what I'm saying? Yeah, like 1,000 years for one day in the center of the Earth in Shambhala. So they can be down there one day, and then they don't age. They'd be the same age. So he said Amelia Earhart looked the same since she got made it down there. But I noticed these people, they don't like to mention us down there because he said that he talked to the leader, but he ain't going to go into detail who the leader was. The leader of that place, as of now, before him, it was a lady named Ariska Gale, who is my mother's half sister. But now it's another dude that's over that. His name is Field Corps. And he's the people, you can pull up the skulls, double-headed skulls, like Yaku's people. Yaku's people is Field Corps them, the Denakos, that they over that center of the Earth. And they got big heads, and they came up and mixed with humans. And that's why humans got receding hairlines. That's why a lot of y'all go bald in the middle, the George Jefferson, that's a genetics, because you ever notice if all humans can't be the same because there's too many different genetics, because it's different extraterrestrial races. Genesis chapter 6, sons of God coming down and mixing with humans. It's a whole bunch of different races. And one of them, like I said, is called these Danako big head people that's in the center of the Earth. And another group is called the cone heads. You know them as the cone heads from the movie. They call it Teru. They got cone shaped heads. And they came up and mixed in with us. That's why Uncle is he was a he had extraterrestrial genetics like morphodite and a cone shaped head. That's why Pharaoh Huni, Pharaoh Sneferu, Huni is the one that made the bent pyramid. The black bent pyramid is when they tried after Imhotep, before Imhotep, you know what I'm saying? They were stacking them on top, stacking these mouser blocks on top of each other. But when Pharaoh Huni came and Sneferu them, they started trying to make a point on the top. And the reason why is because of their ancestors, the people on that they made Easter Island, got all these statues on Easter Island out there. The same people who crashed their ship in Greenland, the ship that's crashed in Greenland, they said, right? These people that came out for that ship are called a Teru. They were black, dark, 7 foot tall people. Some of them maybe even 8 foot tall. These because of their cone on their head, and they made statues out of these people, like I say, on Easter Island, and they came in Asia, went to Asia, and mixed in with the agents that were there, which were really the original agents are the Bantu people. Now, the reason why the Bantu is what I was getting at. I'm getting back to the serpent thing, but the reason why some of our Bantu people in Asia and over here, when they look at the same statues, see the same Buddha statues in Grand Canyon, and they got splintered eyes, is because that trait comes from a group of people called the Sands people. The Sands people got the slanted eyes. Go, huh?
Khoisan people,
you can go look them up.
Khoisan.
Yeah, the Khoisan people. Yeah, the Khoisan people who also call the Sands got the slanted eyes. They are the original agent that migrated to that land. Then you got when you say Bantu, you're saying the two different groups that mixed in, because the original group was the oldest two groups there, and they really was over here first, but we'll use Africa as a point. The Twa and the Sandsman. Now, if you mix the Twa and the Sandsman together, and they eventually mix together, you got the Dogon people. So the Dogon people are mixed between the Twa and the Sands, and then it's another group. The other group that came in were called Watusis. The Watusis got a two-part mix. They got a Hindu and the Anunnaki mix. But when they came down from Orion and mixed in with the Sandsman, they created the Bantu. So the Bantu is a mix between the Watusis and the Sandsman. Go look at that. Don't believe me. You want to figure out what I'm talking about? You want to see genetics? Look at the hair. Look at the hair textures, and you'll see. Look at the Watusi hair texture. See how it's real thick, woolly. Look at the Bantu. Look at the Sandsman. See how they got the nappy little knots hair,
cool,
and then
cool hair,
right, nine ether, right, and you mix that nine with these woolly, and you get and then pull up the Bantu and see that it's an in between those two hair textures, and then you'll see how Buddha got. When you see Buddha, these Bantu statues, which they saying is Hindus, well, it's really Bantu. They got the tight, nappy, 9 ether, kinky, woolly hair, right? And then later on, the Hindus, because the first wave of Hindus is the mixture, the Anunnaki mix, which is the Watusis. Then another group of Hindus, full-blooded Hindus, that has straight hair. The Watusis don't got straight hair; they got woolly hair, right? These Hindus got straight hair, and so they came in and landed in India, and really they landed over here, really, and then they migrated to Bali, with Indonesia, but they over time they mixed in with us too over here. They mixed in with everybody around, and these are they brought the Naga influence, the dragon worship, the worship of the dragon. And it was a benevolent thing, like I said, because these one group, the Nagas, were benevolent, and they came to fight against this other group. But what I was going to say, yeah. So just keep in mind about them, the Bantu people being over here as the Olmecs, the same people. Some of if you look at, that's why some of the Olmec helmet got Asian features, because they come through the Sandsman. You see what I'm saying? It's not the Mexicans. The Mexicans don't come till way later. The Aztecs and all them don't come till way later. The reason why the Olmec got Asian features is because of this, like I said, the Bantu mixed with the Watusi. Sandsman mixed with the Watusi. They give you these Bantu, who are the people that's in Asia with all these statues. They saying that's Hindu statues. Hindus don't got nappy hair. They got straight hair. Original Hindus. They got straight 6 ether hair. So these people, them statues are not Hindus. That's Bantu people. That's who they are. Another thing I was gonna say is, and then I'll take a break. Let somebody else go. Is there? Yeah, the Asian features. Like I said, the Asian features with the chink hair. That's a mix. And you talking about the armor, and they weren't building pyramids. I mean, they weren't building pyramids. The Armax, they were building stone structures, but they weren't building pyramids into the Naga influence. The Naga influence, when the Nagas mix. So it's what happens. The Bantus over here, right? The Sandsmans over here, and the Twimans over here. They the really old Mississippians. Mesopotamia really is old Mississippi. The ancient Mesopotamian civilization. It's really old Mississippian civilization. Now these extraterrestrials come, boom, they land. They mix in with the Bantu over here. This creates another types of tribes. What you calling the Washita, the original, the first wave of this, what they're calling Native Americans. The first wave of Native Americans is the Hindus mixing with the Bantu over here in America. And they were dark skinned, black, jet, and then some of them had gray hair. You can go pull them up. And the ones with another wave came when Hoshin came and mixed in with us too, though. Hoshin came in the 400s. They created the Mexicans. Now before this, the Mayans, which means illusion, really. They say all the Mayans came up missing. Now the Mayans that come up missing, the Mayans are the Twa. The Mayans and Twa are the same people. Keep that in mind. The Armax was over there, right? How you get the Aztecs are descendants of the Armax. How they happen is the Aztecs came about when Hoshin came. Hoshin was Chinese, but he was a later species of these Bantu people that had already got mixed in with these Terus who had a 47 chromosome, 47 chromosome. And when they mixed, they had Down syndrome. You know what Down? If you look at people with Down syndrome, they look kind of Asian looking. You ever notice that? Like people that would like you look at somebody
and
like
they all look the same. They all have the same face, no matter what race
right?
they are.
Right. That's right. They can be black, the China. It don't matter, right? They always have Asian slanted looking eye features, right? So notice that. But that don't mean that the Asians got Down syndrome. I'm just keeping that in mind when I tell you about the 47 chromosome, the extra chromosome that these Teru had when they mixed in with these Bantu people. Now it gave them more features. It gave them more of a cone-shaped head, which is where the Huns come in. If you look at the Huns, they got more of a cone-shaped head, right? It made some of these people were taller. Now you got to keep in mind when they say it's giants in the earth in those days. What really is a giant? Are they talking about 25 feet tall? This and that. Now you got to keep in mind how tall is a Twa? Twa is what, 5 foot and shorter?
Yeah.
Right. So to a Shaquille O'Neal to a Twa would be a giant, right? A 7 foot nigga, man. You ever seen what Shaquille O'Neal look? That dude got to duck down just to walk in your house. This dude wear a 20-inch shoe, a 26-inch foot shoe. God damn. Man, that's like a rim. Imagine a 26-inch rim on your car, right? This nigga's shoe is 20. That's a giant. They got to custom make this dude's shoes and clothes and cars and everything. His whole bed, his whole lifestyle got to be customized because he a fucking giant. That's why, right? But don't get it twisted because we were the giant people are, like I said, when the Centaurians, who were one part of the Centaurians, were like 8 foot tall. These beings that came from Mars. They made movies about these people. Even the ant people, they made a cartoon about them called Marvin the Martian because these Agigis was on Mars before they came, right? So, back what I was saying, the Bantu that was over here, these Hindus mixed in with them, that created the Washita, one of the largest tribes on this land. The Louisiana Purchase, even the Florida Republic, Ethiopia Superior was part of the Washita land. Georgia, most of this whole goddamn land was Washita land. I'm telling you, man. And the Tacoma people are included in that Washita. They're the same people. That's all the same. The mound builders are all the same people. Everywhere where mounds were built, they all the same people, right? And so like I said, that's the mound thing. And then the ants coming the Tuskegee from Tuskegee 1, they came with the underground digging. We created underground cities over here. You could pull all that up. You already know about it. The military have taken over some of these places. The military and created levitated Mark V trains underground to go to place where they was how this how they was using to steal all the children. They're using all of these underground cities. They reactivated them and start and stealing the children. But some of them people live down there. These black hand Venetian vampires who were really nomos, extraterrestrials, one group who came down and mixed with the Dogons and created this hybrid vampire race that really drank blood. They really own the blood drive, all the blood drive. Yeah, well, no, they don't need that much blood. Well, it's a blood drive on every damn block, and they sucking blood out of people. Where's all this blood going? Because the whole city's down there. And they populating so bad that they got to keep these people fed. These black, they dark-skinned vampires, real live. Like you think that Blade and all that is all movie? No, it's a real. It goes back to a lady named it was Adam's mother. Her name was Lilith. Lilith broke off and married the Nomos king, a dude named Krito Mutwa. Talk about this. And Doc talk about it in the tablets, but Lilith, who was iTunes, she was a Watusi, right? Adam's mother was a Watusi, right? And she broke off and went seeked out the Nomos king, the Dogon king. And these people were part human, part reptilian. That's where you go back to the you was just talking about this, sister, just a minute ago. Like you was talking about something itching around this, and they were part these nomos, like I said, they started these Dogons started giving virgins over to these nomos people because these nomos people were teaching them about the stars, about Cyrus B and about the planets they had. They were teaching them how to plant crops. They were teaching them this is how Christianity started. Actually, Christianity actually come from the Dogons being taught by the nomos the motion of the stars, and that's why the Dorian calendar with the sun and the 12 star constellations. All this is what the Nomos was teaching these Dogon peoples. And this later became Christianity. The Son of God was the Son, S-U-N. The 12 zodiacs became the 12 disciples later. And that's why the church really originated out of Ethiopia. The real Christian church actually originated out of Ethiopia because it started by the Dogons. And the older Christian church is in Ethiopia. But that's another story. But these Nomos, like I say, these Dogons start giving virgins over to these Nomos to impregnate. And they start having a hybrid race, a bloodline, which became your first vampires, who are the originals. Go watch the vampire series called Original. The reason why I know about this because I'm from Louisiana and the vampires live down here. Go watch True Blood. All these series they put out, them based on real events. It is what you call day walkers. It is real witches. Some of us are actually real witches. We just don't remember. Or I ain't practicing our shit because of Christianity colonized us. But these people, these vampires drank blood. They drank children's blood. But it is a good part. It's a good group of them. Some of them come above ground and they only hunt animals and drink their blood, like deers, rabbits, and shit like that. They collect the blood from animals, but the bad ones, they the ones that got the blood drive, and they some of the richest. They the richest, really, pretty much the black nobles. What you call it, black nobles? That they are the black nobles. Yeah, they are what you call the black nobles. The thing from the Phoenicians, the dark-skinned Phoenicians and Dogon people, who are the original ancient Egyptians. Yeah, so that's another thing that's going on with the vampire thing, and they give you these people whole storyline in the beginning of Vampire in Brooklyn. Vampire in Brooklyn with Eddie Murphy, he tell you their storyline of how they got kicked out of Egypt, which is really over here. And they got exiled. And then they went to Transylvania. If you study Dracula's history, and they say the Dracula, and even this dude, they say the prince that was over in England, he's now living in the Count Dracula's house. Because he descended from him. That's what they're saying, right? Because these people got kicked out by another group of people called another dude named Cockmos and Arkmos. They were Twimans. They were Twi pharaohs over here. Cockmos and Ogmos. Their daddy name was Kenta who was a builder. They got hit in the head 3 times. They took that and turned it into Harrow Abiff in the Masonic order. But these dudes, the Hyksos is the ones that did it, and they were a part of these vampires I'm telling you about that were human hybrids. They came in over here eating our children. And so the military called the Magi's. I just put a tape out about these guys yesterday. The Magi warriors, under the orders of Montu, who was really Murdoch and Melchizedek, and it was under El Islam, not the religion, El Islam, the civics. It was an order of government, and we had police and government structure over here. And what they did is they round these people up. And Cable told them, they do this in the Masonic order to people that don't know no better than the ones that got the wrong rituals. They blindfold them, they cable told them, took all their medals. And then they tied them up. Arkmos and Cockmos, really Cockmos was after them first, then they killed him because they killed him, then his brother Arkmos finished it off, the little brother, right? And these were Twi men, the Twi pharaohs, but they had a military that guarded them, 2 different militaries. They had one that was their Navy SEAL and Delta Force, which we call the Magi's. And when they had problems, they'll send the Magi's in, just like Donald Trump sent the Delta Force in Venezuela. And the pharaoh will be the president, right? And the vice president would be like the same. That's another thing too that I find interesting, that the United States government is set up just like the ancient Egyptian government, because they got a pharaoh, that's the president, then they got a vice president, they got advisors. It's the same thing. They got a medicine man that the pharaoh had a medicine man that followed him everywhere he go, a magician, right? You can call him a magician. Well, nowadays the new pharaoh called the president, he got a doctor's team that follow him everywhere he go, a convoy doctor's team. That's a magician. A doctor's a magician, a wizard, warlock. If he against, really, we're dealing with warlocks because they're really against us in the hospitals. They really giving us poison and not giving us what our ancestors was using, which is what Dr. Sebi and all the other herbal doctors that they had wiped out, because they didn't kill like 80, 90 holistic doctors in the last couple of years, wiping all of our holistic. So like we need to be learning that too. Like if you ain't on holistics, you need to. I mean, I'm totally against the hospital. 100. Like I'm totally only way I'm for the hospital is for if you got broken bones, so you gotta get a cast. You in a wreck or something where you out of it, and they that type of well you can't even help yourself, and they gotta help you, and nobody else is there to know what to do to help you. That's the only reason you would get shot. You get a gun wound or something. Yeah, you go. They good for that stuff. They good for patching bullet holes, but they ain't good for curing like kidneys, which is shit you can go get off the shelf right now, but they don't tell you it's shit you can go get off the shelf and drink in 3-4 days, you back in business. Your kidney shit gone. You just shit the stones out, whatever. They don't even tell you that. They don't tell you go get this coconut oil or get this ginger, and then take all that, mix it together, mix you some ginger, coconut oil. You want to get thin your blood up, this and that, and boom. The next thing you know, you back in business. But no, they rather get money off your people doing dialysis, doing all of these different treatments. It's what it is, a treatment, because they want to be hospitable. They hospitables. They hospitable. That's why they call the hospital. And they charge you $500 a day just to sleep in that motherfucker. And then they end up serving diabetes patients Jello and fucking sugar drinks. And then they say, oh, your sugar went up. We got to give you something else, another shot. And the shot is $100, $200 every time they give it to you. Yeah, it's all about fucking how much money can we get. Go ahead. I'll be rambling all night. Go ahead, man. Yeah. I'm fucking sick and tired of this place. I'm sick and tired of this fucking place.
I feel you. Yeah. You said it right. Like we couldn't even break half of that down because you know what I'm saying, it was a lot in there. But a lot of that stuff you can do the research on. But I also wanted to hear, a lot of people wanted to hear the indigenous parts on that.
I'm pass it around. I feel
one
a lot.
of the things that I saw someone put in the chat where they were listing the different portals that what he was speaking on earlier, and I wanted to point out that Mount Shasta in California is another one of those entry points as well into the Hollow Earth. But
That's
if
right.
you guys notice what young elder is doing is he's just giving you the genealogy of the planet. And see all of the mounds, and when these colonizers came here, what they removed and what they took, they didn't burn shit. They didn't get rid of any
No,
books.
no.
They were taking the genealogy of the original people, the priest class, the king, the queen, the royal bloodlines out. So when we do the research and we look at these codexes that they find, like in Mexico, and like if you go to the pyramids in Mexico, you can go to the top. Sometimes they'll let you climb the pyramids, but when you get there, what's in there are codexes. And you could go to Spain, you could go back to all of these countries that came here when these 7 countries attacked America. They took those records back with them. But what's in those records is just the genealogy of the bloodline, of the priests, of the princes, of the queens and the kings of this land. And so all of that goes back to a lot of the things, like all of the things that he's telling you guys about and mentioning are the things that were hidden and taken back in the Vatican and taken back to Spain and taken back these other places. Genealogy is king. Like if you don't know who your people were and where they go back to, because your genealogy is going to let you know your cosmology. Your cosmology is going to tell you how to get up out this place or where you came from if you're not from this place. What different extraterrestrial bloodlines you descend from. But even going back to what you were just ending on, the hospital, and your genealogy tells you what plants and herbs are for healing of your body, because it all comes back to your tribe, what tribe you're a part of. That's what your cosmology is, and that's what your oral history is. It is just how we survived as a people for thousands of years till to now. So when we go into hospitals, we're taking universal medicine that has been studied on white rats for white people. It's not even medicines that's made for us. Hospital is an acronym. It's for House of Sick People in Trauma and Labor. That's what hospital means. That's not a real word. It is an acronym for a House of Sick People in Trauma and Labor.
Right.
So, yeah. So even when you see the serpent on the medical symbol, and we go back to the blood drives and the vampires and the people that want your organs and all of that. Like he was really cooking on that with a lot of that. It was just so much to keep up with. But yeah, genealogy, cosmology, and knowing your oral history and who you are and what tribal people you come from, that is going to boil down to how you survive this place. Because that's all your ancestors were trying to tell you. How you live the longest under a tyrannical, oligarchical, cannibalistic. Like, you think you sick of this place? Listen, we got to get these people off our land, off our planet. Like these people are, they're parasites. They're parasites to Mother Earth. And that's why when you go to the hospitals, they don't treat parasites, because they're not going to tell you how to kill them and how to get rid of them. But parasites are the number one cause of disease and stress.
Right.
That's why the parasites is always trying to work their way up from your stomach to your brain. They start at the root chakra. They're going to get to the crown chakra. They can take over your body, and they can control you. Mind control. It's the same serpent energy. It's that same serpent energy. So every other country in the world will treat parasites and tell people how to cure parasites when they go and they get sick, but the United States of America. Why? Because this is the origin of the takeover. These are the original lands. Everything started here and spread outwards.
I'll say this, because
looking at her features, I think that you can pass for Chickasaw Creek Seminole. Like when I say Chickasaw Creek Seminole, I mean the Creek and the Creek and Chickasaw really are the same people. Really, the Chickasaw
No,
just
you hit it down there.
debate.
That's exactly what my ancestry is. That is exactly it.
Yeah, because you got the. I'm gonna tell you why I say that, because you got a little bit of aging in you. It may be a smart that give you some of your features, and that aging feature is the Chickasaw side, because on the when these people mix it with the railroad people that was working over here that came from Asia, we let them mix in with us, and the Creeks when they came to our land in Alabama and Georgia. We let them mix in with us. So that's why some of us got Asian features, right? That's a small Asian features. Then when I say Creek, that's who we are, right? That's who we really were, the Creeks. But the Chickasaw is that tribe where the Asians mixed in. And then these Chickasaw Creeks went down to Seminole because there was a civil war between the Creeks where they split. And so some of them went down to Florida and they formed and mixed with the other tribes that was already forming the Seminoles. So that's how you get with the Seminole. But you will be originally Creek Chickasaw. Looking at your features.
Our ancestors were with the founding of Georgia. So with the
Yeah.
Yamacraw, who
Yeah,
were
the Yamaha too.
yeah, and the Creeks, yep. And so that's why the Creeks came about when the founding of Georgia. And so a lot of us migrated down from Georgia, the Carolinas, into Florida after that.
Yes,
but the founding of Georgia, they wouldn't have found Georgia. Georgia wouldn't even be a state if it wasn't for our people.
That's right. They attacked the Yamasee. They attacked so yeah, you can try to Yamasee too, because Yamasee really are Creek. The only thing about it is the Yamasee, some of them mixed with, and that might be your African part that you're talking about, because
the
Yamasee
ancestral,
the Gullah, because that's right, because man, that was Mansa Musa and them coming over, mixing in with us.
Europeans being here, yep.
And that created that's the African part
anyway.
Yeah, so that might be the African part too. So but don't trust no DNA thing. If you want to get your DNA, just come to Young Elder, man. I can just look at your face and tell you. I'll tell you what tribe you're from. Yeah, I'll look at your face and tell you.
Real quick, Young Elder, before I move out, because we're about to get off here soon. But
go ahead. My bad.
Yeah, because I was trying to say, I said it was All Serpents Day, and we went into all these different things and breaking down how they're evil and everything else, except for the fact that all of our indigenous people had serpent gods.
Yeah.
The serpent god Quetzalcoatl said there was no blood sacrifice. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The Nomo are serpent people. They taught the Dogon people. Each one of these people talking about, you broke down the left-hand side of it, but the right-hand side of it, there's way more to it than just drinking blood and everything else. Because some of them don't. You see what I'm saying? When you talk about Nagaloka and Shambhala and going to inner earth, they're taking you down there to give you the information that the guys was talking about, those books and things that got burnt, because the Nagas are custodians of sacred information. Yeah. So they talk about technology. Ma'am, a
lot of them, they didn't drink blood. So when you talk about the indigenous people here, when they dealing with the serpent, the Amaru, they would take bloodletting from the priest. They would take bloodletting from the priest. So instead of the dark side of that, they would have the priest or they would take sacrifices in that way, because we were living in a time where people will live there wasn't murder. Like, there's no gang violence, there's no murder, there's no domestic violence. So people didn't die as much as they die now. So they had to keep the energy moving and things moving in society. There had to be sacrifices. And so the bloodletting rituals come from that more pure side of what you're saying, instead of the blood drinking. It's like what we get with a lot of what they now call traditional African, where you get the animal sacrifices and all of that stuff coming from, a little bit on that side.
And that's the thing. A lot of people half-ass do research, because when it comes to our elders and everything else, the animal sacrifices were really supposed to be done with. All these people doing the animal sacrifice, that shit don't even work no more, to be honest with you. Like I just said, Quetzalcoatl, the first thing he said was the animal sacrifices. I was trying to get there, you know what I'm saying, about the blood rituals and everything else. Like I said, we went to the mounds. And when we start going to these mounds, we got to pick up that old sacred technology and information and going in there, not in a state of fear or worried about bloodsuckers or anything like that, but going in there seeking sacred information. Because like I said, all these serpents, if it's All Serpents Day and we are the serpent people, we're talking about them like they're not us. Yeah.
We the Nagas. The Nagas. The Nagas. Put it together. Nagas. You ain't put it together.
And you have a serpent.
The Nomos. Those who claim to know the most. We the Nomos.
I see.
Nubians know the most out of anybody. I don't give a damn what nobody said.
10-11, I say. But that's why I really pushed on the Naga thing, because there's so many people can just say a lot of different things, and we look at the snake a certain type of way, but the snake was one of our liberators. The serpent was one of our liberators. We talk about Tiamat, she's a grand dragon. We talk about all these different things. They're dragons, they're serpents, they're not, whatever we want to call them. And most of them,
that's our stuff. That's the right hand side of that. The opposite of the dark hand side of that will be the Ouroboros. That's the cycle of life, the circle of life. So you got to shed that old skin and recycle the new.
Yeah, when we talking about bad reptilians, you ain't talking about really the nomos. The nomos really wasn't bad. The nomos and the nagas wasn't really bad. The bad reptilians were the dragonians. The
But
nomos were neutral beings, meaning they like it's like they like us. That really we are the nomos. We are the nomos had a neutral nature, meaning that we can say hell no, or I'm down with it. You know what I'm saying? You could go either or, right? That's what the
Okay, right.
nomos were. Right, that's why we here on this planet because this is originally Nomo's planet. But then you got the Dragons, man. The Dragons, it's a good one, it's good Dragons too. But the Dragons I want you to bow down and worship and serve and enslave him, and they's on that type of thing. That Nomos wasn't on it. The Nagas wasn't on it. And some of the Dragons went on that. Inky was a part Dragonian. His people were benevolent. They was actually on this planet. So, but these with one particular group that came from Dragon star system and they actually got this ideology from their ancestors. By the way, they call the Carnarians. The Carnarians are a bird species that came from Centaurix and Arcturus, these star systems, right? And they are the ancestors of these reptilians. That's why birds lay eggs. You wonder why do birds lay eggs? Reptilians lay eggs, but mammals don't lay eggs outside of the womb. But birds lay eggs, and because Mother Huber drafted these reptilians out of the birds, and the reason why she did that, because talking about reptilians, right? So the reptilians were drafted out of the birds to to counter the insects. All right, so I'm gonna give you just a quick, like a 30-second rundown. Mother Hooper, who is Anu's sister in the Pegasus galaxy, before they came to the Milky Way, they created the insect race, right? And this insect race started populating so bad they ran them out of the Pegasus, and then they went to these insects went to Andromedans. But then when they came to this Milky Way galaxy and landed on Saturn, which was it was 4 planets. You had Tiamat. You had Meldick here, you had Jupiter and Saturn. Those were the 4 planets that were here when they came. They actually designed Neptune and Uranus and Pluto. They were all moons. All the other planets were moons to these other huge planets. But when they got here, the insects followed them here. So they needed something to counter the insects. So what they did is created these frog-like people that was called the Meldickians. That was on a planet called Meldick that was in between Mars and Jupiter, before it got knocked out of its orbit and it blew up because of Nibiru. Nibiru crashed into it. This might sound, for people that ain't to speed, this might sound crazy, but I make it just, but you will see this in Mother Nature, how reptilians, especially or amphibious beings, especially frogs, go after insects, fish. Nomos, they always go out, they eat insects as a part of the food chain. So But so the Mother Huber created these reptilians, these first tadpole, we call it troglodytes, and we mix with them. That's why we got web hands, and humans got web hands and web feet a little bit. If you look at it, that's part of the tadpole. That when a man ejaculates into a woman and it goes into a sperm, they come from that species, right? All right. So, what was that? Yeah. These tadpole people were created to counter these insects. And then once that was working for a little while, they needed more aggressive type ones. So Mother Hooper just kept engineering more aggressive type serpents. And then some of them even evoluted on Tiamat. This was Tiamat before it got crashed into by before it became Tiamat, then it became Key after they remodeled it. Key is the remodeled Tiamat. And it's actually half the almost 2/3 or well 2 times half the size that it was. It was actually 8 times, well, actually probably like about 4 times bigger than what it is now. The moon actually was a part of this planet before these beings with this advanced technology blew it off. But those evoluted, and then Mother Hubert saw that hey, I need a she had a ground army and a water army with these reptilians, and she even added venom by crossbreeding certain poisonous plants in these reptilians' DNA. That's how the snake serpents that crawl on the ground, some of them are poisonous because Mother Hubert took plant. You got plants out here as poisonous, like poison ivy, right? Just to give you an example. Like take if you take whatever's in poison ivy and put it in a snake, that gives the snake, now he's poisonous. So Mother Hubbard, that's what she did. She crossbred certain plants from the Vega star system into these new style reptilians, giving them this poison. That's one thing. And then another, I'm gonna shorten it up. This is the last thing I'm gonna say. Then, in order to make them Dragonians with wings, she crossbred them back into the birds. Took the birds and crossbred them back with these poisonous these serpents, and boom, now they got wings. So now you got Dragonians with wings. And then one more thing. Then they did an experiment on Titan, which is a moon to Saturn, Mother Hubbard. These Anunnakis. Mother Hubbard is an Anunnaki. Well, really, she's not technically an Anunnaki, but she can be classified from this. She's a part of the same group. She's Anu's sister. She's Anshaw's chief scientist. She would be Enki and Enlil's great aunt, or Annie. She would be Enki and Enlil's Annie, right? To make a long story short, she crossbred these Dragon with wings back with Hindu human-looking people, Hindus. And now you got humanoid Dragonians. They look human, but they're Dragonians, and they got dark black skin with curly hair. And so they come to Earth, and you can pull up pictures of them. They got knights pull up knights, tall knights. They got jet black with curly hair. These are really avatars for reptilians. I've been telling people that they were avatars because Mother Hubbard created Avatar, and they came here, and that's why they eating humans and eating babies and doing all this what you would call, damn, that's fucked up, right? Evil type of thing, because they're not really humans. They really reptilians. They really nomos in human form. Another now I want to keep going, but I gotta say one more fucking thing. I'm sorry, Arish. I know you got that much time, but these guys, to make a long story short, they infiltrated Saturn and took it over, caused a war on Saturn. They then went to Rizk in the Lyran galaxy. They call it Elium. That's what these Riskians. That's on the Anunnakis' original planet. They started a war and blew a hole in the ozone layer with using deplete aerosol bombs. And this is what they talk about when they say the war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon. The dragon is these reptilians that I'm telling you about. Michael and his angels are the good-looking guys, the good-looking humans, according to the Bible. Yeah, the Bible said Michael and his angels were good-looking humans. And when when they went to Sodom and Gomorrah, the homosexual guys went and said, tell them two good-looking guys, bring them out. They was good-looking. Even to man, they was good-looking. So there stands a reason that Michael, because the Lord and the two angels, that was Michael and his angels, and they sat down and ate food so that means that these are physical beings, not no damn no magical floating clouds with wings. No, none of that. Them boys were real guys. They sat down and ate food with Abraham, and then they went to Sodom and Gomorrah to check them guys about what was going down, because we didn't really get down like that on the land. Ashtar Command is the one that brought that in to get the two guys, Code 2 man getting booty. They brought that in. They was with the Gigis. They brought that getting booty in, but they went to complain about that. Yeah, them boys say, come on out, bring them two good-looking guys out. So therefore, Michael and his angels must be some good-looking guys, and then these other guys must be reptilian-looking. But also, this is what it says, though. It says that in Revelation chapter 2, verse 9, 3 verse 9, it says that they were the synagogue. That means like a building or avatar, a body or a temple for Satan. Satan is the dragon. We already broke that down. Revelation chapter 12, verse 7. So these are dragons in synagogues in human form, coming around, riding around. They controlling the government. They eating motherfuckers. They having rituals where they eat baby shit and drink urine and all this sick ass. Really, y'all know what to call it. Satanic. What to call it. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Baby
yeah.
The foreskin.
Just getting.
I think we give a lot of people a scapegoat, because a lot of them that claim that they're under these traditions and everything and claim that they're dragons are just simple white people, and we don't want to just say that, or simple Jews, and we don't say that, and we'll say the dragon is the devil. But who is Yahweh? What does Yahweh translate into? The dragon. So that means we say when God, if we're gonna use the Bible, when God told Moses, when God punished the people, he sent dragons down to punish the people of Moses, right? And what did he tell Moses to do? Build a brass serpent for them to touch to heal themselves. So we were saying one is the serpent, well, God is too. You see what I'm saying? That's why I'm not going to just stay into this image of the dragon is bad, they eat babies, and no, the Jews are bad.
You talking about two different dragons. You talking about the dragon from Dragons versus the Nagas. The Nagas are the good ones. You talking about when you talking about the good dragons, huh?
No, I was just breaking down the sign because you broke down, you know what I'm saying, yours. So I was just breaking down because every single indigenous society, whether we want to acknowledge it or not, because everybody want to be an Indian until it's really time to be a fucking Indian. Everybody wants to talk about it, but your God of the America, if you're of this land and you are Amaru, you're under the plume serpents. That's your God. You know what I'm saying? Nobody wants to have that conversation though. And that's why I named it All Serpents Day, to uplift that serpent energy. We have mounds that we don't activate down here. We have ley lines that we don't activate, and we have knowledge that we don't activate because we're worried about the so-called bad aspects of it, and we're not looking at the ley lines. Mount Shasta, like the goddess was saying, is the root chakra of the earth, right? But when you look at that root chakra, that whole thing is still in the shape of in shape of dragons or serpents.
Hey, man, you just gave me something else. Man, you just gave me something else to say when you just said what you see. I'm glad you brought up the plume serpent and all that. So now let me say this about that. So the plume serpent you calling is Yahweh. That's Yahweh. I'm gonna tell you who it's Enki. Enki is the plume serpent, Quetzalcoatl, right? Enki is Yahweh in your Bible. Okay, did you know that? Okay, so the Enki, another name for Enki is Israel. Israel, that's another name for him. That's what make you people over here, the Amaru people, the plume serpent people, Enki's people from the land of Nod, which is one of the names for Enki. Enki name is the land of Nod. Enki name is Nud, one of his names. And he is the Quetzalcoatl, plume circle, the Yahweh, all that. So that you're right, Orisha. Yahweh is Yahweh, because of the covenant with Tahuti, all that with Inanna, coming down with Inanna and the covenant of Israel and all that. I'm not talking, when I say the covenant of Israel, you might think I'm talking about the Bible. I'm talking about that. I'm talking about an extraterrestrial covenant with the children of the plume serpent, the children of Enki.
Some evil motherfuckers
of the land.
I'm sorry.
Huh?
No, I just said the people of the land. It's a covenant with the original people of the land.
I know that take our scrolls, like the goddess said, there's information that we think is burnt up, there's statues that we think is burnt up, that other individuals that might not even be, we give them ranks like they or something, but these are just colonizers.
No.
And now
they flip the history upside down and backwards.
That's what
upside down and backwards. So they take the original our stuff and flip it upside down and backwards. So that's what we're calling sick. Now when we look at them, we see it's sick. What are they doing? They have our original information, just flipped it upside down and turned it backwards.
That's right, sister. I'm glad you said that. That's a good point.
Me too.
They turned everything around that we did and flipped it bad to make it bad.
Because they can't comprehend it in a way. They don't even have the receptors in their skin, in their eyes, in their ears to be able to comprehend the information the way we do. And the problem is we're listening to these people who can't even comprehend information the way we do.
That's where I was going with it. That's why I swear that's where I was going with it.
Man, you pretty sharp though, sister. You pretty sharp. I don't really hear too many sisters talk on the level that you talk on. And you I think by you being on, you guys more people on. We need to start bringing this sister back on, Orisha.
Orisha, one person that I saw someone ask when I do genealogy, do I find more people's genealogy tracing back to America and Africa? And to be honest, when I do Black Americans ancestry, of course we find more American ancestry than African ancestry. Not to say if you have African ancestors, we're going to find it, but really it's maybe one person in your tree and we have 300 people in your tree where their ancestry is all American. Like I said, the last time I was here, slavery was a business. It was the world's economy. It was the biggest economy in history. So they kept excellent business records. If you are African and you have African ancestry, we're going to be able to find ship manifests. We're going to be able to find documentations of where you were enslaved. They just gaslight you and tell you that you can't trace your ancestry, or it's hard for Black Americans to find out where they came from because they don't want you to look. So it is the collapse of narcissism. You know, we're under a worldwide narcissistic collapse right now, and these people are master gaslighters. So they've been gaslighting us with our history since our entire lives. And so we're the first generation to have the technology to be able to combat that in a way. So that's why we're witnessing a worldwide narcissistic collapse of government, of powers, and these false power structures that are in place right now.
I say, I love what you said, because like you said, they found our tablets, or they conquered, they took it. When they went down to I forget the brother name, Cortez, when they go down to Mesoamerica, they destroy statues. What statues did they destroy? Anything that they're scared of, I'm rocking with. Because that same cracker that went down there, that same Spaniard and Portuguese that went down to the Mesoamericas and said, yo, we're going to destroy these statues, are scared of the goddess, they call her Snake Skirt. You went to Mexico, did you get to see Snake Skirt? This is a divine feminine energy. Now, yes.
Still being worshipped also.
And even out the worship aspect, because even that worship gene, let's take that out and throw it somewhere. Let's talk science. It's producing energy. That statue produces energy. That statue can communicate back and forth. You know what I'm saying? We talk about plasma. When we talk about a lot of these deities throwing lightning strikes, or Veracruz, he's holding two serpents, like lightning strikes to represent the plasma, represent the blood, the flying serpents. You see what I'm saying? Like I said, I think that them people went down there, they twisted it up, they didn't know what they were doing, just like the Aztecs. They didn't know what they were doing. They took our stuff, we're gonna remix and everything else. And they started, it was something else. I can't remember what it was. I was trying to keep it in my mind, but they'll take your stuff, half-ass know what they're doing, and they're the ones that started doing the whole sacrificing kids and bloodletting and everything else. And that's why it got destroyed. That had nothing to do with the serpent. That had nothing to do with the grandmothers. That had nothing to do with us whatsoever. I'm telling you, that's not it, when it comes to the plume serpent, it literally came to fruits, vegetables, stones. You said about the Olmec. When we talk about the Olmec, those heads are computer chips. Those heads, each one of them heads, each one of them, the cacao block, and I might be saying the word wrong, is giving you instructions on how to live in your tones on this earth. They call it wave sounds on this earth. You see what I'm saying? I'm telling you that on those ancient tablets, they specifically said the only thing we sacrificing is our enemy. You understand what I'm saying?
And that's why when you see those codexes, what you see them killing their enemies, sacrificing their enemies. When you find those codexes, you see black priests sacrificing non-black people.
Yeah. Tail man.
The head and chop the head up, and it's a ceremony,
and it's a snake there. It's a snake in the code. You'll see a dragon looking snake in the codexes.
I'm telling you, like even when you look at that grand calendar is a matriarch calendar, and it's two serpents that at the bottom of it of two brothers. And you know what? I do got to pay attention to that more, like Young Elder said, because there are two entities down there, and one's a 6 ether and one's a 9 ether, right? You got to look at that. I'm gonna show it to you.
But good and bad is them balance when you think about
balance. It. I was just gonna say that.
Yeah, we do with yin and yang. The yin and yang, you know. Yeah. Now that's fire, boy. You can always have some good shit, Arisha.
You can't see it good on here. I have to show you on the big calendar, but I don't really.
Whoa, that's crazy, because in Asia they have a similar tablet to that. My girlfriend just sent me a video of it, and there in China when they have it, you'll see it in Chinese businesses. Sometimes they hang that on the wall, but in Chinese mythology, that thing kills vampires and keeps vampires away.
That's her right there.
Oh, you got a lot of them.
Yeah. I most definitely. I collect antiquities, artifacts. Speaking of which, the indigenous, you down South Florida, you'll find a lot of stuff. If you start looking for it, search, you shall find it. Because a lot of our stuff, they don't know what to do with it. Their great grandfather stole it and passed it down and passed it down. Those people are dead now. They can't connect with it. Like she said, a lot of stuff is melanin activated. You see what I'm saying? Go to those temples, regardless of how many statues they hid, buried, destroyed, you still see the paintings on the Mayan or the Mayans with locks, the grandmothers with their head wrapped, the big nose. They can try to explain all that away, but we are a serpent people when we did it right. That's why I'm you know what I'm saying? And it's a global thing because no matter what, we've never been a better people than when we were building mounds and pyramids to the stars.
Right.
It came with stars.
Right.
Who taught us this? The serpent came down and taught us this. The serpent.
Right. The Nagas.
This. You know what I'm saying? So I just take it serious. Like they would ask for corn. They didn't. Some of them, and like you said, you always talk. And I don't study a lot about Emil in general because just from the information, I wouldn't study him because like there's no sense to me studying something like that. I would study more Inky or
Now you want to study Inky? If you want to study Inky, just study Quetzalcoatl.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But going back to that, when you know our minds be so split up that when I see them over there, I'm thinking those are the bad guys, the ones and what they call it, Mesopotamia or whatever they call it.
Yeah, it was over here. Yeah, Mississippi River.
Yeah, I might be saying it wrong, but you see how the split is where it was a competition between those brothers. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, they did the whole gang thing. And like the guy that said, the whole Chinese thing and everything else, well, the calendar was made by, it's a divine feminine calendar. All that Chinese stuff, all the stuff in Cambodia and everything else was passed on to them. Buddha's mother's name.
They
you see what I'm saying?
Right.
You hear what
Right.
Buddha's mother's name is Maya. We took information over here, took it over there, and some of it I think was all built at the same time. But one thing about it, crack ain't got near pyramid nowhere where they at. A crack ain't, I'm lying, because if you look at Ukraine, they have a black pyramid, but they didn't build it, and we don't even want to acknowledge that Europe is named after a black woman.
Europa.
You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
So, things, and crackers past 5,000 years ago. So some of these pyramids were we had the dumbest conversation because a lot of this shit didn't even exist before crackers came around. So initially it was 6 ethers and 9 ethers. You know what I'm saying? A lot of those pyramids, all these step pyramids in Kush, fuck Egypt. I'm talking about Kush. I'm talking about all throughout the Americas. I'm talking about all in Cambodia where they got our faces. They couldn't be too evil when the largest statue of a black man's face is in Asia. Not in Africa. You see what I'm saying? We've been building all these pyramids and we don't want to tap back into this because we were scared off of it because there are some evil people that took our stuff and ran with it and don't know what they're doing with it. Now, when we get back into it, like I said, I just dropped a video where we went up the mounds. We did our rituals. We shed our blood. We did our bloodletting. And we connected back. You know what I'm saying? A coward sacrifices a child. An evil motherfucker sacrifices a child. Because that's how you can tell they're not reptilians. These are people that want to be the reptilians because they know that.
No, hey, you're talking about different groups.
Well, like I say, these are people that I think these are the wannabes. The same people that want to be us, the same people that want to be everybody. The same cracker that like a plague, like a damn plague. They go around the whole planet, sticking their nose in our business. All indigenous all over the world, they'll stick and they try to steal everything from us. They will try to destroy everything from us.
Hey, my bad. You think eating kids is a bad thing? You eat eggs? Do you eat eggs?
Here you go.
Yeah, do you eat eggs?
Yeah, I eat
eggs. Huh?
Well, I'm gonna say this.
You take the eggs down in the morning for breakfast. Yeah, well, that reptilian man, he eat eggs too. He just a little bit more advanced. Bloodline.
I'm gonna say the bloodline.
Hey, let me ask you something. It's real funny. Let me ask you this, Arisha. Would you eat a talking chicken? Would you eat a talking chicken? Would you eat a talking chicken? A chicken, like you go out there, you say, I want some chicken, right? You raise chickens, you go out there to wrangle him. You get ready to catch him and wrangle him. He say, hey, hold on, Mr. Orisha, man. Hold on, man. I got kids. Don't eat me, please. Don't find me chicken, right? Motherfuckers start talking English. If a chicken start talking your language, it'll scare the shit out of you. Get the hell on up out of there. Come on now. So if the reason why they eating the children's is because it's part of a food train. But if those children could speak their language, they would have scared the head out of them reptilians. Them reptilians say, oh shit, this motherfucker said don't eat him. You know what I'm saying? They'll take off running. They some scary motherfuckers. Really, look, the motherfuckers the reptilians that's eating children, some scary ass motherfucking reptilians. If those children could talk at their language and say, hey, motherfucker, why you eating me? You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be eating this and that. They'll get scared as hell and get the hell on. They really scared.
I'm gonna say this. We talking about all serpents, so we talking about all of them. There's also
not all of them, but yeah, but go ahead.
The chicken with two, I can't remember the name, but there's a chicken. If you look at this up, there's a chicken, right? It's ancient, right? There's a chicken with two serpents for legs. It's a deity. Are you familiar with
Oh,
that
yeah,
deity?
I looked it up. I
Look up
think I seen something like that though.
the deity. Now, when it goes back to the eggs, yeah, I eat
Oh,
eggs, don't eat chicken too much, but if anything talks to me, I wouldn't eat it anyway. You know what I'm saying? But I also,
yeah,
a lot of people are talking to the blood, like you said some real shit, right? A while back, or blood types. Some people might
yeah,
come to me and say, "Oh man, you eat eggs?" Well, I'm
yeah.
O negative. I'm O negative. I'm
Right, me
very
too.
primitive.
Me too.
Very primitive.
Right,
You know what I'm saying? I am a hunter gatherer. You know what I'm saying?
me too.
Now
Right.
they can put us in the little suits and everything else to try to make us, but yeah, I'm designed
Yeah,
to hunt you down. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
When it comes to civilization, yeah, I eat an egg because before the egg, before the egg starts going in its phases, all it is,
yeah.
it's and I'm not saying eggs is good or whatever,
Chicken,
but
chicken.
but before the chicken's in there, it's just the yolk and everything is just the protein for it. You know what I'm saying? There's no
Yeah,
chicken in
yeah,
there initially until a
yeah,
certain amount of time. Now,
yeah,
when you go into there's a lot of evil shit that's going on out here with the food system. Period. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of shit that's designed to fuck us up in general. So
yeah.
like I would say,
All of it, really.
I mean, it's most
Anything that
definitely
was designed by those people ain't for us.
Right,
that
right.
part, definitely. So,
It's
but
upside down and
You know
backwards
something
for
too?
us.
Hey, meat ain't really. Wasn't getting all the diseases from eating meat because a lot of the diseases didn't come over till they came over. Small poly diseases they came over with 44292, right? What it is how we cook our food and what types of food we eat. Like if you eat meat, we over here as natives, we always smoked our meat. We always grilled it, smoked it,
Yep,
boiled
smoked
it, and
our
roasted.
fish,
We
our
never did.
seafood, all of that.
Right, right. We never
Just like they
did
do with
use
tobacco.
grease.
They tell
Yeah,
you
go ahead.
cigarettes are bad. Tobacco is healing for us. Tobacco actually
Right,
cures cancer. What
right,
causes
right.
cancer is them cutting it with all the chemicals that they put in it, putting that
Yeah,
fucking
that's
filter on
right.
it. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
right.
But tobacco in its raw natural
Fiberglass
state
filter.
heals. Yeah.
hey,
Yeah, it's like 4,000 chemicals, and it's not. Let me correct. It's not even real tobacco no more. They spring up, take wood and make this paper, and then put 4,000 chemicals on it. One of them is
They
butt
put
juice, cat
arsenic in
butt
the
juice.
cigarettes. Arsenic in the
Yeah, arsenic.
cigarettes.
That's right. Paint thinner, and look, and then they put the fiberglass filter on it, and then they put on the back it caused cancer. You know what I'm saying? They tell you with some. They tell you some fucked up shit. Look, if
I
we stop buying his shit, he'll go out of business.
you heard
Tobacco
me?
sales are so down right now. Tobacco's less than 10%. They won't tell you this, but less than 10% of Americans smoke cigarettes. Buy cigarettes now
Damn,
because of
that's
the
that's
vaping.
good.
But I'm gonna show you something. I'll be right back. Hold on.
Yeah, that's
And
good. That's
kind of
good.
touched on when I saw a video on YouTube, not on YouTube, but on Instagram of the shaman. It was like a shaman channeling all the different races of reptilians. And so they had the insectoid come out, they had the frog type come out, they had like all of the different, like 7 different types of extraterrestrial, I guess, races that they were channeling in this tent. I don't know if it was an AI video. Some people were saying it's AI, but I think they use AI now as a way to reveal the truth, really. And
Yeah, that's it, right.
What was that?
This is from Peru, and a lot of people are like, "Yo, how can we get into our natural stuff? That's all we got to do." Really, I'm really big into indigenous people and all around the world connecting because I was kicking it with the Khoisan a couple months ago, and they got plants, they got medicines down there. You know what I'm saying? We in Florida, we got plants. I can't remember the name of this plant right here.
That's why you need to know your tribe and your people, so you know what's healing for you specifically. What your people, what used to heal, what they used to eat, what kept them surviving for thousands of years.
That part. Some of us are from, I would say, what they call, I don't even like these fake ass words that they make, vegetarian clans or plant-based clans or whatever, or tribes or whatever, right? Some of us are pescatarian, but they fuck up the water too. You
Yeah, like my people are pescatarian. We ate.
I'm a river clan. I'm Timucua. Yeah. So Timucua's river, we river people. Most of those Mississippian clans are river tribes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, right. Fish is our tribe's specialty. That's what we ate.
Yeah,
fish.
I love fish. Yeah, I love fish.
Now, especially because we all in the Gulf Coast. We're from Florida. You from Louisiana. Now you can't really trust it because all that poison they putting in the waters with the casinos. So they did the same thing to the fish that they did to the bison. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We understand that we overstand that we are what we eat. That's when you
They won't even sell us no bison no more, boy. You gotta go get some. Just get one little block of bison. It's like $20-$30. One little block.
We have bison tacos at our powwow. They usually make bison
Oh yeah,
tacos or bison
that sounds
burgers.
good. This
Y'all
sounds
eat gator?
fire.
Y'all eat gator?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
eat gator.
we'll usually skin a gator and once a year skin a gator and eat it right there. Put it on the grill. We'll smoke it.
That's part of my tribal tradition right there. Gators.
Because like I said, you are what you eat. You are what you eat. Get you some of that. Sometimes I can eat snake on ritual wise. I'll eat a piece of serpent or some gator or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Because that puts something back into you that you might not even know was gone. We all have a reptilian brain. We all started off as tadpoles.
That's right.
So that's the biggest thing. I'm not afraid of the serpent energy at all, especially when we have Mama Wata and Dambala and the rainbow serpent in Australia. These niggas don't know. These niggas don't know each other. Australia don't know no nigga in the homie where the Temple of the Python at. The niggas in the Temple of the Python and the homie don't know these niggas in Mexico where the Temple of Quetzalcoatl's at. You know what I'm saying? So that's what the biggest thing is, getting back into our traditions, studying traditions. Don't let them scare us away from the traditions. If you live by those bounds, go to those bounds. Today was the perfect day. They tell you, oh, don't celebrate St. Patrick's Day. All they did was flip it on us. They said this is our day, so we start worshiping, we start tapping into it. But if we really did tap, I know it sounds crazy, right? This is gonna sound real crazy. If we did tap into St. Patrick's Day, right? And not St. Patrick's Day, All Serpents Day, right? And we are wearing green because our stones, if we're talking about the American peoples, right? Our stones are green stones, the green stone bones, jade, right? You said, I can't remember that god name in West Africa, but he would always wear a jade piece. He always talked about reptilians. You said his name earlier.
Man, you talking about Quito Mutua.
Him. When he had his encounters with the reptilians, was it bad? Because some of them reptilians are weak as hell, to be honest with you. There's not one type of reptilian when you're talking about, especially when you're talking about the scrolls of Malachi New York. He specifically says there's like, I forget, like they so many
18 different ones in that race. He said 18 races.
18 different,
but it's more that's just reptilians, not counting the nomos. The nomos not really reptilians. Yeah.
You don't think so? I think they
can be classified. They can be classified. Now with the white man's thing, he's saying that they amphibious, but they can be classified. I think they can be classified as reptilians because they all origin from the same point, from this reptilian point. That's why I say that the fish and all of them are the same, but they say, oh, these people are amphibious. The nomos, the fish people, versus the dragon people being more dragon. Then like all of them connected. Like the Naga more dragon, right? But then the dragon reptilians is still Naga really, but they got wings and they more aggressive. You know what I'm saying? It's like, but then not all of them aggressive. It's like this. It's like good races and bad races. Good people and bad people are good species. Are good things and bad, and like in every species, it's got a good and a bad. Yeah. Like that part. Good snakes is bad snakes.
When we separate ourselves, once we find out, like the goddess keeps saying, find your tribe and everything else. Once you find your tribe and you separate yourself, because we don't want to acknowledge that some entities were sent down to destroy our enemies, but we so tired of enemies, we want to sleep with the right motherfuckers. We want to live by the right one. We want to go work for them. The second we separate ourselves, there's a certain entity that's just gonna knock their ass off. We don't want to acknowledge that all these different places, even with the Epstein thing, they said they were torturing their people. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now I'm saying they didn't do fucked up shit to us too and everything else, but they made it a personal thing to get theirs because I really believe we got a lot of us have holy blood. They might use us for physical things like making us go to jail and do shit like that. But as far as everything else, man, or sex trafficking, that's a real thing. But as far as everything else, I believe our blood is sacred, and they know that too. A lot of things ain't happening. Think about it. Those shit in the Turtle Island, bro. Everybody be trying to fearmonger Turtle Island. When does Turtle Island got bombed? And please don't say 911.
That was inside job.
When they bombed Tulsa, that was the only time when they dropped dynamite on Tulsa.
When they bombed Philadelphia, bombed our people in Philadelphia. Was that Philadelphia?
Saying outside those are domestic terrorists. That's the cracker. That's domestic terrorists. I'm not talking about domestic terrorists.
I'm talking about world bomb, like a bomb. Somebody bombed besides Pearl Harbor. I don't know. Besides Pearl Harbor.
It's forever. They've been tearing up a lot of shit forever. Motherfucker ain't gonna set foot over here and fuck with shit until we. That's what I'm saying. If all of us did come, my bad. If all of us did come together and destroy, or not even just destroy, we ain't got to destroy shit. All we gotta do is create our own communities, create our own schools, create our own hospitals, create our own food banks, seed banks, banks in general. You know what I'm saying? Once we get away from these people, they're not going to survive. But what you said it before, but we fucking them. And we putting babies in them. They know they can't survive on this planet, but we're the ones keeping them alive. We want to stay by them. You see what I'm saying?
In the system.
The system in general. You know what I'm saying? So, as far as the two, you know what I'm saying? You're absolutely right about Philadelphia and Tucson and everything. You know what I'm saying? But those were we said anybody else, but that's the cracker. That was the evil ass cracker that hate to see us do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Pearl Harbor really wouldn't. Pearl Harbor really is like the only one we can remember where they attacked us, but that's not in full inland attack though. You know,
that's not Turtle Island. That's just some like this. Those are Hawaii. It's also foreigners. That's not their island. Those are people that killed off the melanated people on their island. I got to see something. So a lot of people can be touched because they're not supposed to be there anyway. Baruch got about all these holy places and all these special places get messed up because that's not their shit anyway. When you're looking over there and all the Muslims, they hate a nigga saying anything about Kemet, right? But they can't connect to that shit because it's not their shit. That's why they always bombing it. That's why they bombing and destroying things over there. They did the same thing in Iraq. They did the same thing in Iran. They did the same thing in Thailand. They did the same thing everywhere. You got indigenous black people. So I'm saying indigenous melanated people. So go ahead though. I do believe that there's an alien entity that's giving them a little authority to attack us. That caveman. You see what I'm saying? Whether it be, I can't remember the name of this entity, but I know a lot of stuff. Like the guy that said they like Pastor Troy said, everything's vice versa. And the first thing they did was trying to make us hate this serpent. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, but no, man, we get to those mounds. If we get to those mounds, that's so important. If you live by the mounds, if you down there, guys, please send me that picture of you by that Olmec head. But do me a favor, while you down there, get an Olmec head a kiss for us. You know what I'm saying?
I had to go put hands on it to know it was real because everybody was telling me when I was reading online on TikTok, they were like, "It's a hoax. It's a replica. It's a replica." I had to go. I was literally 3 miles from it. Like where I live, it'll take me 5 minutes if there's no traffic to get to it. So I drove up there and I'm like, no, this is authentic. This is an authentic Olmec head. Like this is exactly like what they have in Mexico. And I have video of it. I'll send it to you. I'll post it in the Chief Talk.
We most definitely, because like I say, that's important. When these different things start seeing you, the melanated guys.
Yeah, our people, it's important for us to put our energy there and align with it. Because your life frequency changes, your life path changes. You align yourself with so much different energy. It almost like it's like a shift in alignment for yourself and for your life personally. There's another place here in Florida called Fort Zachary. It's in the Florida Keys. And it was one of our ancient castles here that they turned into a military base. But there's no way that the U.S. military could have built that place. It's like an old Moorish territory. It was the last Moorish stronghold when they were fighting the Barbary Wars down in the Florida in the 1800s. So it was the last place that the Moors had a stronghold, but it's a castle, and they're calling it a fort now, and it's in the shape of a star.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, so that's where I'm headed next.
You know where the magnetic, I can't remember the name. It's a magnetic city down there where you're at right now.
That's where it is. That's Star Fort.
Wow. I know I was going to go down there and check it out just because they were like, yo, how did this Caucasian man do this? And he said
you're talking about the Coral Castle. That's in Coral Gable. That's like right there. That's like 45 minutes up the road from here too. But yeah, where he supposedly built this castle based off frequency. And the neighbors said that, they would hear these frequencies and he would be moving these stones. They didn't know how he moved these stones or how he had the capacity, but it was with the magnetic aligned on the ley line. He built it aligned with the stars. It's on certain magnetic ley lines, and he used frequency and tone to lift these stones. And that's just our ancient technology.
Now,
he was extraterrestrial. He was a Venerian. You talking about Ed Lemskins?
I think
Ed Lemskins.
Like I said, yo, Elder, there's other entities out there that I can't explain it myself, but there's other entities out there that do be putting people on stuff. But I'm gonna go back to this real quick because you the Morris guy, you know what I'm saying? You the Morris science guy. Why do the Moors call themselves the Moors? We Ansar, right? We Washington, right? The Ansar, the Moors, what do they call them? The Ansar Moor Dragon or the Dragon Moors. Have you ever heard of the Dragon Moors or the Phoenix Moors?
I heard of different clans. They had some names. They had similar names, but their logo would be a phoenix or this or that, right? But it'd be in some Latin name. It'd be Latin, but it'd be some phoenix.
Dragon Moors. They have
Dragon.
Phoenix Moors. That's two whole different branches. Same thing, but they have two different operations.
Everybody that look like us ain't us.
You see what I'm saying? But like I said, when it just comes to that dragon technology, even when it comes to the crocodile is in West Africa, they say the crocodile is the enforcer of Olokun, whereas the serpent is the messenger of Olokun. The messenger. The serpent has always been the teacher, the divine teacher, the divine mother, the one that brought us out of. Think about it. The serpent, Inky, was the one that said, yo, we shouldn't destroy these people. We shouldn't make them slaves. So the serpent is our savior. The serpent is
savior today. He was nice and kind. Hey, look, I want to tell a sister this before we get out though. When you talk about Africans and you talk about slaves in America, be very careful, because I done ran down the timeline 15 to 100 times, and I don't see one world where they could have brought Africans over here as slaves. I don't see it.
That's impossible. It's impossible.
Yeah, I see Africans over here way before. Yeah, they was already over here. They enslaved us when they came over here. The Africans is already over here. The Africans already, and then I don't think it was easy as they saying like they just came over here and just took.
They didn't even have the capacity, the brain. These are the people that were shitting in the streets in the 1800s and throwing their poop out the window. You know what I'm saying? Right. So it's impossible that they built all these boats and brought. What? How many? They say 300 million of us across the Atlantic. Right now, they just getting ship capacities. Have y'all ever seen a Navy vessel in the Atlantic Ocean get its ass kicked by waves? And they're telling us they brought us on here on wooden boats when they don't even have the technology now to survive crossing the Atlantic with military grade ships. It's very difficult. We can look that on YouTube. So yeah, we watch military ships get their ass. We know they were taking our people and moving us from one side of the Mississippi to the other side of the Mississippi, beating our asses and beating our memory out of us, and then getting us over there and they're telling us, well, you're in another land. You ain't in another land. You're just on the other side of the Mississippi.
Yeah, right. Exactly. And another thing too, look into the Transportation Act where King George I sent white convicts over to America as
they're peasants, they're poor, they're retarded, they're slow. This is a penal colony. They sent all of their fucking rapists, their murderers, and all of the lowest of the low. These are the worst pieces of shit ever. You're a bad sister, man. You're a sister. We are living amongst convicts. That's why I said this is a narcissistic collapse. We are living amongst the survivor. We're surviving psychopathic, generational cycle. You see those pictures and those people looking at our ancestors being hanged. You think these people don't have no souls? No, their ancestors are murderers, rapers, killers, baby eaters. You know, it's the same. It's the same thing.
Exactly.
It's the same thing.
But also, it's 2026. If anybody still thinks about that whole slavery shit, the shit is dumb as shit anyway. If anybody, the only people's arguing because, like you said, you just said you saw Olmec head. The Olmec head 1,000 years before they even knew what a damn Islam or Christianity or anything before they existed. Practice only about 5,000 years old. These these pyramids are way older than that. So we that's just the dumb for people to even
upside down and backwards. So we're being ruled by the newest people on this planet.
Right. Babies.
Demons. Ain't no babies.
Look, that's why they said one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind. Mankind.
That's them, right? Small leap for us. We small things to a giant. Small things to a giant. Big things to a baby.
Hey man, I appreciate both of y'all because
Oh yeah, we're down tonight. Hey, you
yeah,
gotta bring the sister back on, man, because this sister, she ahead of a lot of people, a lot of regulars. Yeah, you big chief, you are a big chief. You know enough to be a big chief on the
yeah,
land. You feel me?
it is on her shit. And like I said, you got to check out her last live we did and everything else. No, she a boss in this shit. You know what I'm saying? She doing her own thing, and we connecting the tribes. If you want to get in contact with this goddess, how can we get in contact with you? Goddess, indigenous.
So you can always find me at findyourtribe.org. That's my organization's website. If you want to connect on some ancestry, my Instagram page for that. So once you go to the website, it'll connect you to my TikTok, the Instagram. My personal Instagram page is Ronica. So you can connect with me on my personal Instagram or my business account or the page for. So findyourtribe.org. It's Facebook, it's Instagram, it's the same everywhere.
I say. And what's your cash app, goddess?
I am $ I am wealthy 77.
I say. Please support this goddess. Tap in with this goddess's business. Find your tribe.org. Again, I'm gonna do it my damn self just to put it out there. You know what I'm saying?
I might just have a show with this sister on my page, man, so I can bring her on an interview because she pretty sharp.
No, she most definitely sharp. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because we need more sisters speaking up, talking, and saying what we saying.
It's
You know
the
what I'm saying?
return of the matriarch, and so I don't know if it's a lot of.
We need more sisters.
You know,
I'll sit back any day and let the sister run the shit. I'll sit back and let sister just go off. Let her go off. Shit, I can't wait.
I say. Yeah, most definitely. And like I said, you're absolutely right. That's why we do push. That's why I did want her on, and she's been on Matriarch before and everything else. Because once they activate, it's game over. Once the divine feminine activates and realize the plasmas in the air, and every animal on this earth will bow down to her. Queen Khalifa did it.
Yeah, because they're gonna teach the children. See, that's why we need the women, because the women gonna teach the children. And if the children got it, we got it. We got it.
Yeah, I published coloring books on indigenous cultures for children. That was one of the first things that I did over almost 10 years ago now. So we have coloring books. You can get them on findyourtribe.org where for children and teach them about indigenous cultures all around the world with the fixation on America, in America first. So we start here, but then we go out South America to the Caribbean, Africa, Asia. We connect in the dark-skinned indigenous people of the world. So I did it with my daughter. I all my kids.
I'm about to get Alicia I'm gonna have to get Alicia to give you my number so you can see when you free. I might have to do an interview so we can help promote your page or whatever you got going. I need more sisters to come out and speak that's sharp like you. So I think by you coming out, you will give more other sisters more that's probably sharp like you, but they don't really want to say nothing. But if they see you do it, they'll say, "Oh, I want to come out." You know what I'm saying? And I got some stuff too. Right, so I think you're gonna lead the way for other sisters that's probably sharp out there like you, but they're afraid to speak up. You know
I have a sister circle. I have a sister circle, so it's 5-10 of us that we in a sister circle. We talk about this information, and this is what we do, amongst ourselves anyway. So send the goddesses my way, send them my way for sure. We'll get them right.
I'll say, young elder, what you got program? What you got coming up next?
Oh yeah, me and Rod live tomorrow night, man. And I got the tape coming out on I just put a tape out about Hernan Cortez. I put the one about Christopher Columbus and Marco Polo. I got one coming out on the Curtis Act tomorrow, breaking down the Curtis Act and how they another level into how they robbed us. So we did we got the Dawes Roll, the Homestead Act. And this right here be the Curtis Act to go along with that class. Man, the class that me and Rod doing tomorrow are gonna be lit because we're breaking down why the DNA test is a fraud. Because they telling all of our people that's over here that they from Africa, and some of them could be got African in them, but the most percentage of it is in America. They American.
They ain't found no Black American has taken a DNA test and connected with their African cousin nowhere out of millions of DNA tests taken. They have never been connected with a living African relative to date.
Right.
DNA tests are telling you what you share in common with human beings that are alive. And that is it. It is not, they're not telling you what tribe you come from. They're telling you a nationality. You are 25% Nigeria. Nigeria is only 40, 50 years old as a freaking nation. How the hell am I Nigerian when my ancestors were older than Nigeria?
Yeah.
Look, I
Hell
think,
yeah, man. You fucking cracking head.
a lot of people dumb as shit. Because first off, they done told you on the bottom of the thing this for
entertainment purposes
People out
only.
here actually arguing with people. They're saying, "Where's your facts? Well, I got DNA proving that I'm an African. You telling me I'm a Native
Well,
American?
how
Where's your
come
facts?"
you ain't connected with no African? If you taking a paternity DNA test, I've connected with people from Belize. I've had people in my family take those DNA tests, and they linked us with living cousins in Belize, all in the U.S. But we ain't never been connected with no African. They ain't never said, "Oh, we found your third, fourth removed cousin that's living in Nigeria today." So how they gonna tell you got Nigerian ancestry if they can't connect you with no living Nigerians?
Right. Like I said,
no Black Americans have found an African cousin through a DNA test.
Right.
The first thing he said is, "Oh, somebody's trying to get our blood. Somebody's trying to get our blood. Ain't nobody trying to get our blood. These dumbasses going up there giving their plasma away. These dumbasses giving their blood away. These motherfuckers ain't got to take nothing from these dumbasses. They giving their blood away.
Right.
They got plasma banks everywhere. They ain't got to hunt us down. All they got to do is offer you $25 and you'll stick your arm out."
Look, and then Ghislaine Maxwell, Epstein's girlfriend's sister-in-law, owns the largest plasma bank. That's in the Epstein files. Owns the largest. So who you giving it right to the devil?
The cold piece right there.
I'm telling you, Chief, it's a lot of like some people ain't gonna be saved. It's a lot of retarded, slow, whatever you want to call them. But anybody that goes to the white man and says, "White man, take my blood and tell me who I am."
Right.
Come on now.
Come on, man. The devil gonna tell you.
Better.
Look, Satan, tell me who I am, Satan.
Yeah.
Somebody said it's 60 to 80 plasma.
Hey, all right, come on in. I'll tell you. I got your dumb ass. I got your dumb ass.
These niggas talking about $400. Y'all know way too much.
$400 a month doing plasma.
We got happy with that. The first $400 a month, man. Get a job. It's not that serious. I don't know.
That shit fuck up your kidneys on the long run.
Bro, it's gonna, man, listen. If you crazy enough to do that shit, you know what I'm saying? Talking about some tell me who I am instead of, like I said, what the grandma said. I guess all our grandmas lying. Guess what?
Yeah.
Right here says she can do the background through your last name. She can look at who your granddaddy was. You know what I'm saying? They ain't got to do all this shit. These people are lying. If we're gonna sit there and say,
look at your face.
You know,
don't tell me nothing about you come from Nigeria or you from Ghanaian if you don't know the name of your third great grandmother on these lands. You can't jump past Big Mama on this land and take your ass to Africa and talk about, "Oh, I'm Nigerian." You don't name your grandma Nigerian. It's not a Nigerian allowed to take your ass. They ain't gonna give you no land. They're not gonna give you
cousin, nigga go. Book. They don't give a damn about.
Shoot your ass down with a spear, a dart.
We're in the best place in the world. Everybody want to be here. They trying to trick us out of our spot. They trying to trick you everywhere else. You want to send you everywhere else. We're in the best place. Everybody wants to be here. Everybody trying to come over and conquer over here. Everybody wants to be here. You know what I'm saying? So that's the biggest thing, man. We just got to
milk and honey. This has always been the land of milk and honey. America has always been a melting pot, and it's always been the land of milk and honey.
That's right.
Yo, I just before we get out of here, because I'm glad the indigenous is on here. Because I saw it was Epstein, but it was another cracker, right? And the cracker was talking to a bunch of African women, and he was like, "Yeah, the same way."
Gennard, he's the Epstein. He was the Epstein for Black people from Canada. Peter Gennard.
Let me get your stem cells. Let me get, and they over there kicking.
Yeah.
I'm saying this is why we have now. This is why intelligent women like and got us indigenous, because they'll sit there and say, "Oh, I'm being sexist when I say them some dumb motherfucking whatever you want to call them females over there." You see what I'm saying? We can't say all of them matriarchs because some of them are some, like she said, airheads, to be nice about it. But some people sell their soul for a couple $100 to sell their plasma.
And you notice those are the bad bitches. Those were he's sitting at a table of bad bitches.
I didn't. You said. I'm glad you said it, because they get it mixed up when we say bitches and hoes, and then there's a difference between bitches, hoes, and matriarch and women. You see what I'm saying? If you'll sell your body to a white man, you already disqualified. We got to get that out. We got to get that on the floor right now. You fucking white people right now. You ain't got to say nothing to them. They just not allowed in our community. If y'all out here, what they call it, swirling, it was a white man that gave how many people? A Russian man just gave half of Africa AIDS.
There
Meanwhile,
was a cracker in South Carolina that gave over 400 black women AIDS just
meanwhile,
like 10 years
they
ago.
blamed it on black men. Meanwhile, our women turn all against the black
They
man.
saying the brothers is DL and the ones that's giving it to them. They saying all y'all, all the brothers are DL now, and that's where all these diseases are coming from. But no, y'all sleeping with a motherfucker that sleep with a dog and a horse.
Like they said,
all diseases come from animals. All STDs come from animals. Who is fucking the most animals out here?
They don't want to have a conversation. It ain't the dragons. who fucking the most kids out here? That's their culture. We don't want to have that conversation. But we can blame it on every entity in the world. But I'm gonna be so straightforward and say it's them crackers. That's their culture. The same way they try to put on the say, bro, they eat kids, they fuck kids, they do all of the above. Now, when you see our people with that slow ass mentality, they say, I want to be like them. Make sure you get them out the way. Let them go over there. And when they get chopped up and free, that's their business. You know what I'm saying? Slow. Every single time you see a black woman with a white man, oh my gosh, look what happened to Jennifer. Her husband John chopped her up and put her in the freezer. I hope he did it slow, because why y'all keep disrespecting us like this and lying on us like it's us? Why is it that our black women tolerate the shit out of white man? They will tolerate anything a white man do. Now they won't tolerate nothing if they're in the house with a black man though. You know what I'm saying? They gotta have like her on because she just
it's a lady. It's a white man that threw acid in his with his black woman. He threw acid in her face, and that woman said, "Oh, it's my fault that he did it." And I said, "Man, what kind of shit is this? Boy, almost black woman, man, they put up with that shit." And then it's about white and black couples last longer. But it's because those black women that with those so-called black, because we ain't really black, but you know what I mean. They put up with this white man shit and all the shit, and then that's what. So you don't see that part.
Shit go. The creation of the television came from a swirl relationship where this cracker German scientist married an African princess and studied her brain, studied her mind, and how to channel into different dimensions. And that's where the creation of the television itself came from. They literally eat us. They will wear our skin if they could. They will eat your brain if they could, because that's what they're using as fuel for technology to build all these shit. Think about every car, every piece of technology, phone, it doesn't matter what it is. It's based off of something in the human body. So the television is no difference. Channeling and all of that, that's nothing but astral travel. That's what we do when we sleep. We go to different dimensions, and he would study her. He studied her and ended up killing her. And that's where the creation of the television and television channels come from. A swirl relationship of him dissecting and killing this African woman. And it was a German.
Our women have a real bad memory. They forgot that the Christians raped them. They forgot the Muslims raped them. They forgot what they did to Sarah Barton. Why do we know their names, but the black women don't?
I didn't forget. Listen, gynecology in itself is based on the study of them crackers studying us. Gynecology itself, the whole without medicine, without
Henrietta Lacks. Is that her name? Mm-hmm. Henrietta Lacks. And that's what I'm trying to say is like, I can't respect the African no more. You know what I'm saying? We talk about matriarchy, we talk black this and black that. I don't give a fuck about no shit that happened 3,000 years ago. Them black women over there are down to that white man. White man come up. I saw every African woman you ever see, if they see a white man, I don't care what he is. And about a good 60% of the black people,
they see Jesus.
It don't matter.
Oh, what a cold beat.
I don't care how much urine a black man got. I don't care how much money a black man got. I don't care how much intelligence a black man got. A black woman still gonna make him work for her. She don't care. She's gonna try to take everything. That's the game. You know what I'm saying? Just like the sports, everybody to go to college, to me, is dumb as hell. Everybody to go to college is dumb. You know why? Because why all the football players and basketball players, first thing they do is get the money right back to the white folks. As soon as they get into college, they marry a white girl and give everything right back. Everybody
give it right back to the coach. To the coach, it'd be his daughter, it'd be his niece, it'd be his little cousin that he done sent to go get that money, girl. These niggas is brainwashed because they mamas was wearing blonde wigs when they was growing up, and so they was like, if my mama got a blonde wig on, I might as well go get the real blonde hair.
Man,
You
you
feel
a
me?
fucking dope ass sister. This sister right here dope, man. I ain't never heard of no
So
sisters.
it really,
It's
I can't
very
even
too
blame
many
the
sisters
brothers
talking
when they
like
grew up
you.
in a household watching their mama and grandma wear a blonde wig every Sunday, going to church to pray to a white man. They might as well go ahead
Right.
and join the real family.
That's sad. That's sick and
If your
sad.
son, you raised a black man and he went out here and got him a white woman, you failed as a mom. And let's just call that what it is. Because ain't no way I'm letting my sons do that. Ain't no way my
Right.
son gonna hold anybody up to a higher standard than who raised him.
I say. That's
I
it.
gotta get off now, or we should. I forgot. I gotta fucking. Yeah,
Beautiful.
but hey, this right here was fire.
Man, check out the
The fire, fire.
the temples today. And man, I appreciate y'all. You know what I'm saying? I try to get all the comments. I know it was a lot in there, but I appreciate y'all time and everything. Be indigenous. Let's do it again. I'm gonna send the information. Well, I'm gonna send your
Send text me and tell me say that you. Then we gonna have to set up a show so I can bring you onto my show, and then we can promote your stuff on there too. So that way you can get we get more people because more people need to hear you. I think you somebody, you a sister. I listen to a whole bunch of sisters, and you probably you the top out of her.
I
As
share
far as knowing the whole game, going like how you got more
We ain't new to
perspectives
this. We
than
true
one
to this over
perspective on
here.
the
Like I
game.
said, it ain't on me, it's in me.
I
Yeah,
say
you got more perspectives on the game. I think you need to be heard more often. You need to be heard. You know what I'm saying? Real talk.
I ain't never seen no shit like this before. Man,
She going in. She's going like I listen to like it's a whole bunch of you got like Roz and Phoenix. There's a whole bunch of sisters, but this sister right here, she got like a different purpose than like her purpose is big.
look,
Like as far as like teaching, like a lot of sisters listen to her like and it'll motivate them to do it. You know what I'm saying? To do what she doing. You know what I'm saying? They're speaking out.
absolutely right. And keep doing what you're doing, brothers. Young elder, keep doing what you're doing because y'all putting out good information. And thank you guys for being a strong black woman, a strong melanated indigenous woman. You know what I'm saying? Because we need that. If they, like he said, representation is everything. If they see you do it, more of them start tapping in. Because a lot of women just talking here, they self-talk. They that shit don't be going nowhere. It's just a bunch of ramble ass words. Pay attention. We're in the land of Babel right now. So a lot of people be talking here, they self-talk. Man, I appreciate y'all, and we're gonna get out of here, man. Peace.
Hey, peace. Hotep, I should love.
Every rap is intentional, a reminder that we are all connected, from the cosmos to the core. Welcome back, family, to the frequency.
Here, we honor the stone people, the record keepers, ancient memory.
Tonight, we listen to our elders, the wise women, the seers,